2019 SEMA show. We're here in the Truck Hero booth, and the most awesome build that I've seen is here. This is a Jeep FC. We've got the builder, Roy, right? And Walter's here with us. What were you guys talking about? I know I rudely interrupted.
We were kind of chatting about military trucks, and I asked Roy how many FCs he had, and he said he had 11, and I was like, holy cow.
Yep. Yeah, at one point I had 11 of them all at the same time, not all running. As we were talking about how I started off with these things, I have a CJ5 that I've had for a lot of years, learned how to drive on and such. My kids have learned how to drive with it. And I was looking for another project vehicle, and at the time I was looking for a flat fender or something to use. And looking through the green sheet, we stumbled across a Jeep FC. Well, at the time, I didn't know what the FC was. Well, I just happened to have an issue of one of the, Jeep magazines that was there, and we looked through it and it had all the models there. And here's showing an FC. So we thought, oh, that's kind of cool. So we went up and ended up buying the thing, brought it back, and that was my first FC project. And it was a learning experience because obviously there's not a lot of aftermarket support for a Jeep FC.
I've never even seen. I didn't even know it existed.
Yeah, a lot of people have never seen the trucks. Right. So anyway, one thing led to another, and I fixed that truck up in 2004. Learned a lot along the way. Well, when you have an oddball vehicle like that, it becomes a little bit of a sickness because then all of a sudden you start, finding other ones, and then you got to go out and buy it. Right. So one thing led to another. I ended up with 11 trucks at one point, and believe it or not, my wife didn't divorce me.
Yeah.
So and she actually helped me facilitate getting this one put together because I was out with my red truck. We were on another run, and timing was that one of the buddies in our Jeep club called up my house and says, hey, I'm looking for Roy, and I got about a truck that he was interested in. My wife knew that I was looking for this truck, so she put the deal together and bought the truck while I was gone. So yeah, she's a keeper.
She's awesome.
Yeah. So anyway, so then we started working on this truck a little bit when we got it. When we first got it, it was literally on an area years ago. It had been bladed off for a pad on a house or whatever on the side of a hill, and the truck had been parked there. Well, over the years, it had been sitting there for so long that the dirt had started coming back down the hill, and the tires were getting buried under the dirt, that type of thing. So we literally had to dig the thing out to get it loaded up onto the trailer, and within 2 days, I actually had it running. It had a small block Chevy, and at the time didn't know anything about it. It had a Holly carb on it, and there was Legos all dropped around in the thing, so I figured kids had been playing in the thing. I was expecting it worse. I pulled the carburetor off, looked down inside the manifold. It's clean, surprisingly enough. So put it back on. We actually had it running a little bit. Started driving around, and from there on, it was just like, okay, we fix things, drive it, fix things, drive it. If something breaks, I'd take and try to upgrade it or whatever I can, and just keep moving with it. And then, during the course of the time, we'd take it out to a lot of events, TDS and other things in Southern California, and just having a good time with it. And then, a couple years ago, the engine finally blew, So it's like, okay, well now it's time to go ahead and start doing a ground up on it.
Oh, okay. So,
and that's what led us to here.
Yes. Go ahead, Walt.
So this has original engine in it now?
No. Originally these had
Is it flat?
Originally this is a military version. So being military, it was diesel. So originally it came with a 3-cylinder Surless diesel.
Wow.
Completely gutless.
Yeah.
I talked to some people who actually used to drive these trucks in the military, and they said they barely had enough power to get out of their own way. So, yeah, 3-cylinder turbo diesel is what they had. Yeah, it was air cooled. Yeah, it was
and
not
air cooled.
64,
right?
Yes, 64. Yeah, they were all.
Can we get a walk around here?
Sure.
Give us the details.
Okay. Well, all kinds of details. I'm going to give a shout out to some of our sponsors, if you don't mind.
Absolutely.
Okay. So obviously we're here today at SEMA, and we're in the Truck Hero booth, and they were instrumental for getting us inside here, and they got a prime spot for us to sit, and it's been a showstopper for all kinds of stuff going on. So, but we've got some of their products on here. Starting from the front, we'll start off, like I say, it's a 1964 Jeep M677. It's military. It was based on the FC-170 frame, so it's still the same chassis. And what they did on the military version, they basically just took and added another set of doors to the back, and we'll get to that here in a minute.
Okay.
But in the front here, we've got the Rampage front bumper, and we got the Factor 55 hooks on here. We got the Rugged Ridge winch on here. And we also have the Rugged Ridge, we got some LED lights here up on the top there, along with the Rugged Ridge roof rack. And then This awesome paint job that's on here is from RSO Performance.
Oh, okay.
They did just hours of prep and body work and stuff to get it to this point. In fact, yesterday, this truck was awarded, you can see the ribbon over there, with the Mother Shine Award.
Oh, wow.
One of 10 vehicles out of this entire show, and there's probably, what, a couple thousand vehicles?
What's the color called?
That's actually a Cavalry Blue.
Cavalry
It's
blue. Okay.
How was the sheet metal when you bought the truck?
It wasn't horrible. It had the usual rust spots, which on these type of trucks, it was very common. Right there on the bottom of the doors, which is very common. They would be rusted out. The other side over there, they actually had to cut part of the door off and reskin it. And even with these things here, if you look, there's a lot of nice margins and stuff. They spend a lot of time making sure the margins all look good. So they had to take and, you know, back in the day, these trucks weren't fitted very well, being old Jeeps, especially going to the military. They weren't worried about fit so much. This is more for function. But RSO did an awesome job for, you know, getting the margins looking good, and these doors and everything, they shut nice.
Yeah,
okay,
better than new.
Right, it's better than new.
Yeah.
So they did an awesome job on that type of thing. So anyway, but since we're at the side here, we're talking doors and that. If you look at this door here and you look at that door there, it's pretty much the same door. Okay, how many trucks do you see with wind wings in the back?
Yeah.
Okay, and what they did, the only difference they did here is they took and reskinned the outside of this door. So on the inside of this door, when you take the panels off, the structure that's in the door that makes this curve here, like you see here, it's still inside that door.
Oh, they just added it.
All they did was reskin that door and added a panel in the back to make it that full size like that. So
Okay.
Well, they didn't make very many of these, did they?
no, they only made like around 500.
Yeah, so they weren't going to come up with all new dies just to make.
Right, exactly. That's the way Jeep did a lot of things, you know, because a lot of things were universal between one of the things. In fact, the first versions of the 150 or the FCs were the 150s, and those were based on a CJ5 frame.
Oh, okay.
So the only thing, everything else in the back of the frame was the CJ5, but the very front of it they changed a little bit. They brought the frame up a little bit to mount the cab on. But other than that was CJ5. I mean, anybody knows CJ5 frames, that's what that is.
Okay.
So
what suspension stuff do you have out here before we go in?
okay, well, underneath here we got sway away shocks, both front and rear. Then we have just these sprung on here, just the stock springs. We do have Dana 60s front and rear that I've added on there.
Okay.
That wasn't original.
No, originally it had a Dana 53 and a Dana 44. That's what originally it had. We got the Falcon Wild Peak tires on here. These are 38 inch. Then we have Raceline Munster wheels. Okay.
Very cool.
And then inside, all custom interior, custom made dash on here. We've got the Speedhead Legacy gauges on here. We got S-Pod in there for controlling all of our switches and such. So we don't have a bunch of little toggle switches. We got S-Pod, which is an awesome system for controlling all your electrics and stuff. We got vintage air, so we can keep the cab cool inside. Underneath all this carpet that Don Willis Upholstery did is we started off with Loctite, Therion, all their sealers and sealants and stuff and glues for doing all the seam seals and stuff, which did a really good job. Even on the outside, all their seam seals and stuff we use for that. Then over top of that, we use lizard skin.
Lizard skin. Okay.
Which, if you guys are familiar with that stuff, it's awesome stuff. We put the sound deadener first, and then they have that ceramic coating for.
Is it adhesive back?
No, it's a spray on.
Okay.
Yeah, it sprays on, and we put, like I say, we put the sound deadener down first, and then we went back over that with the ceramic coating, which gives you an insulating thing. And that was through the recommendation from the guys at Vintage Air, because I told them the size of the cab we had, and originally we were going to put front and rear air conditioning. But after talking with them about what we were doing and such, they recommended doing that stuff, and man, that stuff is great. It sprays on, it makes the sound deadening, so it's solid. So it makes it nice. I can't wait to drive this thing, on a regular basis and see just how different it is from what it used to be. Because, being military, and your military vehicles, it's Spartan at best.
Your ears are ringing when you get
there
done.
wasn't even a heater in here. There was just metal. So, but like I said, a custom dash, everything in there. And I'm a ham operator, so we don't have a CB. We actually have a ham radio in here. So, and then the overhead, I made a custom overhead rack in here. You can see it up here. We got the head for the radio system, for the stereo system here, and we put dome lights and stuff in here too. So a little more creature comforts.
Yeah. Let's see the back.
Okay.
And here.
Okay, now in the back.
So this is a 4-seater.
Yeah. Originally this would have been a bench seat back here, and very, very Spartan type of bench seat.
Right.
And then we replaced all the seats with Jeep JK, and then I put the bar tack covers on here.
Oh, okay.
Now when we put the bar tack covers on here, that kind of set the theme for how I want to do the inside of the cab, because of the fact that I like the tactical look here. So we carried that onto the doors and stuff too. So we used the bar tack material here, along with the MOLLE fasteners here, then carried the carpet on the bottom, so it made it really nice. Plus also we put power windows in.
Oh, cool.
So that made it kind of nice too. So a lot of creature comforts.
And then you've got your battery, etc.
Yeah, we got back in the back here. We moved a lot of the electrics to the back because being a forward controller, there's not a lot of room up front under the dash because there really isn't much there. So I took on the back here and we put the bantaments for the S-Pods back here. And we've got two of them. They're linked together. We also have the control unit for the power steps. And then we have the unit for the ham radios back here. That's just a head unit up front there. And then also the ECM for the motors back here for running the motor.
That's what I was going to ask you. Running for a power plant?
We're running a Chevy small block Chevy.
LS?
No, it's just a regular throttle body because it's simple. And we've got that in there for the power plant. Fresh crate motor on that. And then
a safe.
Yep, we got a safe here to lock things up in there. We've got the Odyssey batteries back here. We've got the center console back here we put in. Rockland Products made these boxes here for us, along with the center console that's up in front here.
Oh, okay.
And then we've got 110 and 12 volt USB ports throughout in here too.
And back here to the bed.
Okay.
Oh, actually, you've got your welder.
Yep. We
set up here.
Yep. Now there's some little things that if this was shut. If you didn't know this was here, right there we have an onboard welding system. Also something you don't see on here, we also have onboard air. I installed a York compressor on the motor, and we got air plumbed on all points here, so
cool.
So you'll be able to have onboard air also. But also we have the power tank up here too. So it's kind of nice to have both, because sometimes you need this where you can take it off somewhere, but we've got that there too.
Yeah, what's your tent that's back here?
Well, the tent, that's a high tent. Really nice tent. When we walk around the other side, you'll be able to see a little bit more about that.
Okay.
It's got a really nice heavy fabric. When you walk around the tents, feel the fabric and stuff. This is a really very good feel the quality of that. It's nice.
It's like a ripstop.
It's very good stuff. Yeah. It's all aluminum honeycomb frame, so it's really lightweight. I was really surprised how lightweight this was when we put this up here. A couple of this just lifted up there because a lot of people say, rooftop tents are heavy.
Yeah.
No, it's not.
Okay, very cool.
Then I got the toolboxes back here, which I custom designed and had those made. We had a company take and laser cut them and bend them for us, and then we welded them up and painted them up. So that gave us the extra storage we needed back here. I made all the tube fenders here.
Yeah, you've got some traction.
And a little Easter egg a lot of people don't see is look up underneath there.
Oh, what does that say?
Oh, it's a Jeep M677.
Oh, cool.
And you've also got pop-out running boards, right?
Yeah, we do. Yep, we also have the amp research steps there that pop out there. And then also underneath, we also have the Aeromotive fuel system in there too. We have their pump. It's a dual pump with the filter and the regulator in line there too. And back on the back here, we have the bed steps, which this is kind of a neat little feature because when we first started learning it, I wasn't familiar with those. And when you get them, the truck set's kind of high. So when I saw these things, we put those on there, so that gives you a nice little step to get up on the back of the truck.
Yeah, it's very convenient. Yeah.
Yep. And you being known your military trucks, you probably appreciate the fact that I retained the original military lights on here.
I like that, yeah.
However, when we walk around here in back, let me close this up so you can kind of see here a little bit. Get the whole effect here. Is when you see the lights, over here we got more light, is I machined that ring out and put these sealed LED lights in there, rather than the military with a little convoy light type of thing.
Right.
So it makes them much more visible for traffic. So I ran those like the other way for a long time, but I was getting people honking and stuff because they couldn't see my lights, and it's not a problem anymore. So then on the back we took the Rampage bumper again, but obviously you can't find things that's specific for this vehicle. So I had to do some modifications. So we took one of their, I think this was a JK bumper, and it usually comes out around like this. So I cut that all back and trimmed it all in and retained their logo and stuff here, and also making the
blended the modern stuff.
Yeah, it makes it really nice.
Speaking of that, is this the original tailgate?
See?
Because it would have been a simple sheet metal turned over thing at the top, right? With just like a your old school.
And what else would you have here?
chains.
Exactly.
Chains.
And you know your Jeeps.
And then they rattle and straight and scratch.
Exactly. And I've had Jeeps all my life, and I didn't want that because it's all the things you're saying. They rattle and they're just not nice. So that was one of the things I changed on this thing too. RSO Performance also made this nice swing out tire carrier, and you can see it makes it simple to pull it out here. I see that. Oh, you have to completely push the button. It comes out here and it locks open.
Snaps into place.
Yep. Now you're talking about the tailgate, so obviously it looks a lot different. So this part's the original tailgate. You can see by the original ribs here.
And the original.
So what I did is I took and added this sheet metal here, and we put a modern latch on it. Modern latches here. Same with the drop-down supports and everything there. So it's still, unless people don't know the truck, they don't know that that's been done.
Yeah.
So it definitely makes a difference.
Yeah. I like how you've got it. I see the Rampage fuel can / toolbox.
Yeah. You're the first person that's noticed that.
Yeah, Walter and I did a video on it.
Yeah.
I collect jerry cans too.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
So that's on there.
And then you've got a ARB, like a little ice box.
Yep, we got the fridge freeze right here, so we've got that to keep our stuff cold or frozen, whatever we want.
Nice.
And we got these nice Rockland drawers back here that slide in and out.
Yeah.
As you can see, you got plenty of storage. What's neat about these, there's actually a light in here too, so it lights up.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah,
Plus this is full extension. We keep backing up, keep backing up, keep backing up. There we go.
Like reaching in. Man, we could put a 50 cal in here.
I like your thinking.
I make those too.
But what I did this for is, you notice one side's dropped a little lower than the other side, so that way I can put my camp stove and all kinds of stuff here too. So when we're out camping, we got a place to store that gear.
Yeah.
So it makes it kind of nice for that.
Very cool. What are these, like Max tracks, I think they call these?
Yeah, this is I think it's a Rugged Ridge line, I think is what this is. Yeah, but it's the same type of thing, just the traction mats and stuff. And then you can see up front there, did the aluminum work up there with the Jeep, and paying tribute to our Jeep Club, which is the Hammond Jeep Club.
Club's logo.
Yep. Which Hammond Jeep Club is the oldest Jeep Club in the country.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
I gotta get a picture.
Right. Very nice build.
Yeah.
Very nice build. I know there's some folks waiting on you to do another thing, but I
That's
appreciate
okay.
it.
Yeah, we can still walk around here and do stuff. Like I say, you can still see the high tent here.
Okay, so this is the way up here.
Yeah, take a walk up here and fill that mattress up there. You'll want to take a nap.
Oh wow.
Yeah,
That's like memory foam, right?
Oh yeah, it's nice.
Yeah, that's the memory foam stuff. And this is pretty big in there.
It is.
It's pretty roomy. Yeah.
Ample room inside there.
Yeah.
These are shoe storage bags right here for when you get in. You got a place to put your
Okay, you can
shoes.
take those out.
Yep, and you got a storage net up underneath here too. So there's all kinds of cool stuff there for that.
And then I think, does this fold up when you...
It does. So these pins like that, this will fold up. When you go to fold the tent up, it just takes and folds up right up on top. You use this actually to help you pull it down and to actually set it back too.
Yes. Okay, very cool. That's awesome. Awesome build. Yeah, I think these guys are ready. Let me wrap it up. In here. All right, I want to thank Roy and everyone here in the Truck Hero booth for giving us this walk around of the Jeep FC 1964. Very nice build. Thanks a lot for showing us this.
Okay. All right.
Appreciate it, Roy. And Walter.
Yeah, awesome build, man.
Thanks.
Awesome
Thank
build.
you very much.
We appreciate it. Thank you.
Okay.
All right, take it easy.
All right. We'll do like a quick walk around here before we end this. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, ring the bell so you can be notified. Make sure you check out Safety Harbor Firearms there. I'll do a little quick spin around here.
Hey, Jack.
Say hi really quick and then we'll get out of your hair.
Yeah, no problem.
We told them, I said, we're going to talk to
Yeah, come on by. They're waiting for me.
them.